You're listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'.
You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. And this is episode 323. This is going to be a doozy because so many things are happening during this recording, guys. Let me let you in on a little bit of it. I am currently in my car right now. I have my laptop in the car. I have my microphone in the car, and I'm recording inside of it because my son wants to stay up late and play video games. Now, keep in mind, it is 3 a.m., okay? He is now on the clock of stay up all night, all morning, and then sleep during the day, and really only a nap, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then he's up again. And he's eating, and then he's back on the video games. But that's cool. I mean, he's 10 years old. That's what summer's about. You know, his mom tried to make him go to bed at one time, and I had to tell her, look, just let him be 10. It's the summer. This is the time that we live for. And I remember times like that as a kid, and had some of my best times playing video games, staying up late, watching scary movies, eating junk food, all that good shit, right? So I didn't want to tell him to keep it down, turn the game off. I've been doing that. And so I'm trying something different. This may become a new thing for me. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. But I got peace in the car. It's nice and quiet in here. Luckily, it's a cool night. Thank the Lord for that, because if not, you'd probably hear the car on in the background and you would have some AC going on in here. But right now, it's pretty cool. And I have nothing on. I'm just sitting in my car. Everything's off. I have the windows rolled up, and this is how we're going to get down today, man. You know, we're just going to test it out and see, and see what happens. You know, it could be something new, you know, or at least giving me another alternative, another place to record right now in my current situation. Because if you're new to the show, we're in limbo right now. We're looking for a house, and right now we're staying at her mother's house in some far out boony area, okay, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and we're waiting to get our house, and it's a process, and it's going to take until next summer. So we have to stay here pretty much till next summer before everything lines up correctly. So we're trying to keep him in school, and we don't want him switching schools and all that kind of stuff. So doing all that, that's where we're at. But you know, my space is limited, okay, for my gaming and all that. Before we moved here, I had my own man cave, and I had all my own space and all that good shit. It was beautiful. It was lovely. But, you know, taking one for the team so that we can get the house we really want and not just settle for a standard house, if that makes sense. So saving some ducats over here, which is cool. It is what it is. But anyway, we're here. I'm in the car, and this just gives me one extra place to record at if need be, if I really need to get away and I really need peace. Because this is really the only safe haven right here. I could take the laptop, I could drive out somewhere and just start recording. Okay, I could do that. But that's where I'm at now, guys. Got the laptop here, and we're going to get started. I am going to talk about Final Fantasy 16, and there's going to be some spoilers in here. I'm not going to just go ape shit, bat shit crazy, because, you know, my conscience was wrestling with me. I said, you know what? I'm not going to give away every single detail and all these things, but I am going to give away some key moments in the game and how I felt about it and stuff like that, you know, because it is an excellent game, guys. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year so far, and I really enjoyed myself with it. Okay. Going to talk about that. Also, we're going to get into some PlayStation news, period. There's a lot of stuff going on in PlayStation with Sony right now. And Sony seems to think that their butter is not like anybody else's butter. They seem to think that I guess you're safe with their butter on the shelves. And they have a lot of butter on the shelves right now. I'm going to talk about how much butter they have on the shelves. Okay. What they intend to do with this butter. And if I'm being honest, it doesn't look good. Okay, so strap your chastity belts on extra tight, and we're going to go for a ride. Okay. Also, I'm going to be talking about The Last of Us 2, and I can't wait to talk about this one, but I'm going to get into that. I'm also going to get into some, small updates on a couple games here and there. And believe it or not, guys, I'm going to talk about what I'm currently playing. I'm going to talk about what I plan on watching for my anime watch list, because I haven't been able to watch anything really, but I got some shows lined up, and I'm going to get into that. And also, I'm going to talk about Xbox. Believe it or not, I have some Xbox stuff to get into. Some things that are really cool. Some things that I'm surprised I didn't catch. I didn't really go far enough as I should have, I guess, when I first got the Xbox. But I just wasn't thinking. I assumed, because I was a Sony guy, that they copied a lot of the same practices. But it turns out that Xbox has some dope shit up their sleeve, man. And now I'm really starting to reap the benefits of it, and I'm going to get into that as well. But anyway, let's start off with Final Fantasy 16 because it's fresh on my mind. I really beat the game like on a Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday morning, that I beat it. All I got to say is the story is just so good to me. The story was just so awesome. They definitely kept you kind of on this cliffhanger as far as the love and the romance kind of scene goes between Jill and Clive. And Clive is a badass. Let's just get that out the way. He's one of my favorite characters in RPG land, you want to call it that. He's just a dope character, man. He is. He reminds me of Jon Snow in so many different ways from Game of Thrones. It's sickening, but he does, and he's an awesome character. But anyway, a quick breakdown of the story. It has a lot to do with discrimination. It has a lot to do with that theme. Is heavy in this game. There's a term that they use called bearers, and that is basically anyone born with a gift to produce magic, because in this world of Final Fantasy 16, the majority of people cannot use magic. They have to use it, or they depend on it through another source, and they get their magic from a different source. Think of it like a crystal, a crystal, if you will, and it gives off energy so that people can produce magic to do everyday things, farming and all these other things. Everything that magic does, it makes things way easier for everybody in the land, And bearers are people who are born with it. Now, the downside to that is if the bearer uses too much of that energy, that can kill them over time slowly. It's not meant to be abused. It takes its toll on the body. They begin to turn to stone, and the more and more they use it, of course, you get more and more prone to turning to stone. In other words, you might start off with some fingertips. Your fingertips they turn into stone. Then your fingers, then your hand, and so on and so forth. And what happens is, everyone who are bearers in this universe, are considered less than, all right? They're considered monstrosities, if you will, to a certain degree. Not in every region. In most regions, though. I'll say like 75-80% of the region in this whole universe, that's what they are considered. And because of that, they are shunned. They are used as slaves. Most of them are slaves, and they are used until their very last drop. They use them up until they become stone-fied, if you want to call it that, and then they just leave them to fucking rot. And it's a sad reality, but there's a lot of parallels with this if you look at history in itself, and you can tell that they drew on a lot of that, which was crazy, and that got me invested and enthralled in the first place. But that's the basis of it. Clive comes from a royal family who they have their shit together. They're actually nice. Most of them are nice individuals. And the king, which is his father, his goal ultimately was to eventually set all the bearers free. And if you're also a bearer, if they find out you're a bearer, you're basically branded, and you have a tattoo on your face. They basically put this tattoo across your cheek. It's all the same for every bearer that there is, so that they can identify you as a bearer. Now, there's, of course, characters and people who actually end up going into hiding and all these other things. Not everybody, of course, if they can help it, wants to be labeled a bearer, because then their life is turned upside down. People could get in trouble or lose money or get into things just for associating with a bearer. It's just very terrible. And there's a lot of characters that you meet throughout the world who actually want to help bearers or who are actually helping them in secret. And there's so many things that's going on in this universe. It just makes it so cool. I love it, man. I love it to death. That's just one aspect of it. Clive's mother, she bears children who are gifted with the ability of the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix in this world is just one icon, which there's a number of different icons out there who are blessed with this same power. These are, think of them as bearers, but Super Saiyan mode, okay? Souped up, on crack, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, in certain regions, they are considered, most of them are considered gods, demigods. They are worshipped, and they are catered to because of their power, and their power is used for military gain, okay, military influence, and they use them. So if one region has one, they may say, hey, we want to make this deal, and if you choose to refuse, then we're going to send our icon out there and he's going to wipe you all out. And then the other guys, well, no, we have an icon as well, and you can try it. So basically they are military weapons at best, okay? And of course, that is kind of the situation that these guys are in. Clive's mother is a bitch, and I don't mind saying that. And she's just, she's got a lot to make. She's got a lot on her plate to make people hate her. That's all I'm going to say. If I'm being honest, she just turned and stabbed her own family in the back. Okay. Her first son, which is Clive, hadn't matured yet. And so everybody thought he didn't have any abilities. Okay. He didn't have any powers or whatnot. So she shunned him. She looked at him as less than, she looked at him as nothing, almost close to that. And she had a second son who actually was gifted with the power of the Phoenix, but he was a sickly child. He was a sickly boy. I think that's why she ended up stabbing them in the back. So she was basically talking and wooing the other side, okay, because she felt that her son wasn't going to be strong enough in the end to keep them safe. So she said, okay, I'm going to bet on these guys because they're stronger. They look a lot more intimidating, and I think they can get the job done. So I'm going to give up my family, and we're going to go that route so that I can assure that my power stays within me. That's what she cared about. Okay. That's basically what she cared about. There's more to it than that, guys, but yes, you have to play the game and break it down. But this is just a quick synopsis of what was going down. So she turned her back on her family, and the end of it all, Clive he thought he ended up killing his brother, which he did not. He did not kill his brother. He thought he did for years, though. For years, he thought he had killed him. And this guy, one of my favorite characters, okay, in this series, Sid, found him. Now, Sid is one of my favorite characters. Of course, Clive is. And then also a guy by the name of Gav, G-A-V. He's another one of my favorite characters. But anyway, Sid finds him, and let me back up for a minute. Okay. Before all that happened, Clive thought he killed his brother. Okay. There was a big fire, a big skirmish eruption happened, and they found him in the rubble. Okay. Everybody thought that Clive's brother was dead, his name is Joshua. Clive was almost dead. Okay. They found him in the rubble. His mother found him and ordered him killed at first. But then she changed her mind at the last second, which she should have never done. And she said, you know what? No, go ahead and put him in the military. Put him in the front lines. Make him serve, use him for something. We don't just waste him like that. So they ended up branding him and making him an indentured soldier. Okay. He's an indentured soldier, and he's fighting for them. Okay. And they send him on suicide missions with the likes of his other partners and comrades to go out and take out any icon that they can. All right. And knowing that it's a suicide mission, and if he dies, oh well, but if they also kill other icons, cool too. So it's a win-win for them if they do that. So he's doing that for years. Okay. And if you play the demo, that's about where you get to. All right. But anyway, fast forward some years later, and he's about 27, 28 years old. And he finally finds out that his brother, he was the one that killed his brother, or he thought he killed his brother. Okay. because there was a big battle. He ended up transforming, not knowing he transformed, not realizing he did it himself. And he had an out of body experience, so to speak. And he did some shit and he thought he killed his brother, but his brother was not dead. Joshua did not die. Okay. Joshua went into hiding for another cause and Clive didn't know this. So anyway, Sid found him. Sid is a guy who used to be, who it was an icon, but he realized that he was fighting for the wrong reasons and he didn't want to do that anymore. Okay. He was fighting for a better world. He was fighting to free everyone. He didn't want bearers to be enslaved. He didn't want this stuff to go down. So he was fighting for that. So he thought, to do that, he had to destroy these crystals, these giant crystals, spread out throughout the universe. Okay. In each different continents. And basically he felt if he destroyed those, then that would end the suffering. It would help end the suffering of basically what was going on with the branded. And that was his cause he was fighting for. And he died for it. Okay. He died pretty early on in the game, maybe after the first quarter. Okay. In the game, he died. I'm thinking he was going to hang around, but he didn't. And like I said, this story is kind of dark and tragic. Some things happen, some characters die and all of that. But after he dies, Clive takes over as him. Okay. Clive takes his name even, so that the people associated with Sid would still believe that, this guy's out here trying to do the good and he's trying to save everybody and get everything right. Over the course of this time, you get time skips and you get a lot of stuff that happens. And like I said, Clive ends up being that guy. He ends up being the man, and he ends up actually also linking back up with Jill, who was, the small girl who was with him. If you played the demo, or if you saw them in previews, okay, she was actually a princess from another land whose kingdom got overtaken, basically destroyed, and she was left over, and they took her in, okay, and raised her. So she grew up really close with Clive and Joshua. Not a sister, not quite like a sister, but close, if that makes sense, but not close enough to where it would be kind of sick or it would be off. Okay. Because you can tell even then when Clive was 16 years old and 15, 16, that, and her as well, that she had feelings for him and vice versa. And that's the love story within this game. And, like I said, I'm not going to give away everything, guys, but man, it was just, the story was epic. Okay. They link up. Joshua, his brother, he finally finds his brother. Okay. And they reunite. And that was one of the best scenes too, in my opinion, in the game. It was really cool, man. You got to see him grow up, and he's still sickly because he's keeping in this Ultima character who is like basically the bane of the whole game's existence. I don't know what he is. Supposedly in this world, in this universe, he's actually the god. He's the one who created all the humans, everybody that's on this earth that they're inhabiting. And he set all this stuff in motion. Okay. There's a lot of deep shit in here. There's a lot of stuff I'm still trying to comb through and figure out. And, hopefully I get a chance to do that. I think I'll get a chance to do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still kind of taken aback by the game. Everything that I've seen, everything that I've done. There's so many things that went on in it that I can't begin to discuss it. I don't know how many hours did I put in this game. I want to say close to 80 hours, something like that. Around 80 hours. I'm gonna double check and I'll get back with you guys on another show. But yeah, something like that in my first playthrough. Okay. I did every fucking side quest. Everything. So I think I didn't leave anything on the table. Now there may be something that I didn't trigger or something may have happened. I need to check my trophies and stuff like that. But the only thing I really left on the table with this game are some bounties. Okay. And I think there's about 35 bounties in the whole game. And I think I had about 20 of them. Okay. So there's still about, about a dozen, a little over a dozen of bounties, monster hunts, basically. They rank from anywhere from, I think, S rank all the way down to, I think, D rank, C or D rank, I can't remember, but yeah. So you can hunt these monsters and things of that nature. So I'm gonna go on a monster hunt when I play New Game Plus. I'm definitely gonna do that and see what happens. See what transpires out here in these streets, these Final Fantasy 16 streets, man. But basically, the game is full of epicness. The boss fights. My favorite fighting scene in the game was probably when when Clive and Joshua joined together to fight one of these bosses, man. And like this shit was so epic. It is Dragon Ball Z-esque. I'm not lying. There's Kamehamehas and all kinds of shit going on in this. It's amazing. Okay. There's just so much there's so much in this game. I don't even know. And then the combat system, man, is crazy as well. Okay. People are having fun everywhere I turn around, different combinations. I'm online looking at different videos. People are saying, hey, look at this combo, look at that combo. And I have a lot of gameplay and stuff that I'm going to be uploading, guys. You guys are going to see in a week or two. I haven't done any content really, to be honest with you, since this game has been out. So I'm really lacking on my content. So be looking out for that in the next couple of weeks. More content for this, more content, lots of content. Street Fighter still. There's Final Fantasy 16, and there's gonna be some other shit too, man. Some Dragon's Dogma, which I'm currently playing now, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, there's a lot of shit like that going on. So having a fucking blast. Had a blast with this game. So glad I bought the physical copy, guys, because I just had a feeling it was going to be that type of game. And it was. It was everything I dreamed it was going to be. And now I just want to take a break. I was so stressing and I was just so wanting to find out the story. And what's so crazy, the ending is really controversial. If I'm being honest, guys. They're trying to save the world here and they're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And they thought that if they destroyed all of these fucking crystals that it was going to fix everything. And that wasn't the case. That shit did not fix the problems. That's what the main antagonist wanted to do. Okay. Wanted them to do. To make a long story short, I mean, at the end, okay, they go off to leave. Keep in mind, I'm leaving a lot of shit out. A lot of shit. Okay. I'm just kind of giving you like the main points. There's so much more that went on in this. But Clive and his brother go off, and with another character, they go off and they say, we're going to go do this, and we're the only ones that can do it. So they said their goodbyes. When they said their goodbyes, man, it was very emotional. I'm not going to lie. It was really, tears were trying to roll down my face. It was very emotional. And it caught me off guard a little bit, but especially him and Jill, their relationship and how it developed, and you can see the love, and they played it so anime-esque. They keep you on this cliffhanger, and they just give you just enough until the very end. When they finally admit, that you hear from their mouths. Clive tells her, I love you, Jill. And Jill breaks down crying, emotional. And she tells him she loves him too. And then they embrace for a kiss, a nice long kiss. Everything was just beautiful, man. And then they left. And then as they, flew away, she ran after them, knowing that they wouldn't be able to hear her, but she was screaming his name. And it was breathtaking, man. It really was. And the ending, you see Joshua die, and Clive actually finally defeats this fucking entity, right? He sacrifices himself so that pretty much no magic exists ever. Like, there's no magic now, period. So nobody can use magic. Nobody can fucking use crystals for magic. So now they're in a world with no magic, okay? So Clive kills this guy, okay, kills the entity or whatever, and he wakes up washed ashore, okay, and he looks down at his hand, and his fingertips are fucking stone, right? So then he tries to conjure up a little bit of energy, and you see energy trying to kind of produce itself, and as he did that, then his hand turns to fucking stone. And then he fucking, he's still laying there on his back and he's looking at the sky. He's wondering if Jill can see that he destroyed this last crystal island thing, whatever the fuck it was that this entity was basically inhabiting. Okay. And they could actually see it in the air at their home base. So they saw it get destroyed, and Jill starts crying, gets emotional. And then Gav sees her crying. She said, oh shit. He's like, oh shit, she must know something I think he's gone. And so he breaks down and starts crying because Gav is another character that was pretty dope. He was Sid's like right-hand man when you first meet him, and he didn't even like Clive at first. And then after years and stuff that they've been through and going through things, they became best friends, almost like brothers, you know? So, and then Gav is just a dope character. He was, you know, he could hold his own out there in these Final Fantasy streets. And he was basically their best scout. He would go and scout out shit and get shit done. He saved, you know, their lives a couple times. A lot of this shit, just a lot of stuff going on with this character. But anyway, then we get to that scene where everybody's all emotional. And after that, you see Clive kind of go back to him, and he kind of just closes his eyes and just the credits fucking roll. Just like that. Okay. So most people are saying, what the fuck? I was saying that too. Like, what happened? And did he die? Did Clive die? And, or did he live? And what's going on, man? Is he going to make it back? Did Joshua die? Okay. So the credits fucking roll. I'm watching the credits like like the end of a Marvel movie. I'm waiting for it to finish. They finally finished. I sat there for like 20 minutes. The credits rolled for like 15, 20 minutes. A lot of people worked on this fucking game. But anyway, the credits fucking finished rolling. Then you get this scene of these two little boys playing, okay, little two brothers, all right, and the mother's in there cooking and stuff like that. And this is still, back in that time, somewhere around there. They don't give a specific time or anything like that, but you could tell it's in the future, right? Sometime in the future. And the boys are playing, and the mom says, "All right, you guys get ready for dinner, yada yada yada." Okay, and they started talking about characters in the universe of Final Fantasy 16, people like monsters we've met and seen, and it's from this book, and they said, "Mom, is there such thing as magic? Can people do magic?" And she was like, "No, that's just a fairy tale. That's just a story in that book of yours." And so the camera zooms in on the book, and it says Final Fantasy, and the author is Joshua Rossfield. Okay, that's Clive's brother. All right, and then the credits fucking roll. Then it says the rest of the credits roll, and it says it's in. Then it fades to black or whatever. So people are left wondering what's really going on, okay? Because at the end, I'm going to bring this back. When Joshua dies, after Clive defeats the entity, he comes back to his body, to Joshua's body, and tries to bring him back with magic, okay? And it didn't work, to no avail. And so people are wondering, did he actually live? And there's just so many different interpretations, guys, of how this is what's going to happen with this. Okay. I'm on the tier of believing he's still alive. I'm always going to hope that for the best for my boy Clive, man, but he could be dead. I love tragic stories too, which is crazy. It's bittersweet, and it's crazy because most of my favorite games of all time stem from these type of endings. Now you have Final Fantasy 16 with this ending. Now you had Nier Automata with their crazy open-ended story. You had The Last Guardian. You had fucking Shadow of the Colossus. If you guys don't know about that one, how that was left open-ended. There's a lot. The Last of Us 2, another banger one of my favorites. So these endings, man, they just sit there and make you think well after the credits are done. That's how it is. So I don't know, man. That's where I'm at on it. There's more to it because now Yoshi P, which is the producer, and he had a big hand in making this game and writing this story and stuff. Basically what's happening now is they've seen the sales because the game did fantastic in sales. So people are really wanting to know, like, what the fuck is next? Are you guys going to do something? And so now there's talks of them deciding on what we're going to do with this game as far as DLC is concerned, because it was supposedly no DLC. They wanted to wrap up the whole story here, but they probably had some things in their back pocket depending on how the sales went. And when they got that green light, what I think happened is they hit their quote on what they were trying to sell. So everybody celebrated and said, you know what, now we're going to give them we're going to give them some more. And they're going to, they're looking at feedback. They're looking at everybody, what everybody's saying. And that's what everybody's saying, in this universe. People who love this game like me are wanting to know, we want that perfect tie wrapped up. We want our own OVA. Okay. What anime does a lot of the time is they'll give us all these fucking episodes. And then if you really want the real ending, you have to fucking, you have to find the OVAs, and the OVAs are never included like on the streaming services. Okay. They just aren't. All right, I can think of an anime that I absolutely love, which is Future Diaries, right? And the ending was kind of just open-ended, so to speak. You know, it felt like it was more, it needed more, a little more seasoning to wrap it up. Like they had some unanswered questions. And then the OVAs had your fucking perfect ending that everybody was looking for, everybody was trying to get, you know? So that's typically what's been going on. And hopefully we get that same treatment, that perfect bow in the end, and we can tie all that up and say it's done. Okay. Because I really want my boy Cloud to be alive, and I really want him to come back to Jill, and, you know, I want them to continue their journey together, man. I just thought it was a dope love story as well, because I think a lot of people miss that in games like this, you know, with all the other shit going on. This is a love story as well. And they did a great job. Okay. They did a lot of great things. And, you know, the whole time I was playing it, I was rooting for them. I was cheering for both of them, you know, and I wanted them to express, you can tell they loved each other, but I wanted to see it. And you finally, at the very end, they made us wait to the very end to actually really see it, you know? And, you know, that's kind of like, that's good writing, man. That's good writing when you make the player or the reader wait. And then you finally give them what they was waiting for. You know, it feels so much better that way, I think. But yeah, beautiful story. There's so much more I could say, but I could be talking for hours. I would talk for hours for this. I mean, it would take hours to get this shit done, honestly. But yeah, that's all I'm going to give. That's all I'm willing to say right now. If you guys want more information, definitely go. There's plenty of videos. There's all kinds of speculation videos and more coming. I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted on future plans for this game, because you know, DLC coming. If we're getting it, you already know I'm here for it. So I'll discuss that. I'm definitely going to play it, and we'll go from there. Okay. Now, since we're on the Sony train right now, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the Sony thing. Man, Sony. Love you so much, but you do me so wrong sometimes. Sony has some stuff going on, okay? And here's one of the things that I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, guys. All right, Xbox does it too, but Sony is really on some sort of kill streak, some sort of butter streak here. They're really trying to pull out this butter. The sake glasses are on the table. All the shit is going on, man. It's getting crazy. But anyway, they have a 4 terabyte SSD, okay? And basically what it is their version of the extended storage, okay? They don't want you to go out and get a third-party extended storage for your games. They want you to buy their shit, okay? So they right now currently have a patent on their memory, on their storage, okay? If you want more storage from Sony, you're going to have to buy their product. Same thing with Microsoft right now. Now, you can get an SSD, or you can get a hard drive that will work for your last gen games. So if you had Xbox 360 or Xbox One or PlayStation 4, you could do that. I'm running that right now off my PlayStation 4, but it's in my 5. I have a external hard drive, and I keep all my PlayStation 4 games on there. Okay, so I can save space for the PlayStation 5 games when new ones come in, or if I'm downloading them instead of buying them. And even if you do buy them, guess what? You're still going to have to download it, because I bought Final Fantasy and I still had to download 91 gigs. Excuse the noise. That's my fucking car, because I don't have anything on in here, and it's going to keep beeping on me like this. So that's what's going on here, and it sucks. So until, I'm going to say maybe a couple years from now, it'll probably be about that 2 to 3 years before we finally are able to get that sweet update where they say, okay, fuck it, we've got all the money we think we're going to get from this. You guys can now go and use third-party SSDs and drives for your games, so you can put your PlayStation 5 games on this shit. But so far we can't. And here's the shit that everybody's tripping on, and I'm tripping on this as well, because this doesn't make any fucking sense. They already have a 2 terabyte version out, and that's $229, okay? $230, $229.99. All right, and that's 2 terabytes. Now this one that's coming out here is fucking 4 terabytes, but it's fucking $550, man. All right, $550 for some fucking memory, man. I'm sorry, I can't get with it. I can't get with it, man. I can't. I'm having a real hard time getting with that. You would think it would be okay, $229. So what we're going to be, $460? No, not $460. Almost $100 more for that. So that doesn't make sense. If that's the case, then I see people just going out and getting two terabyte pieces of equipment and doing it like that. If it make that, that's what I would do instead of instead of doing that for 4 and paying that extra. It doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna buy any of them. I'm just gonna fucking wait until, like I said, we finally get that update, which will allow us to do this, because the technology is there, guys. It's just right now you can't do it because you'll be damn near jailbreaking your fucking system if you try to go against the grain. And so, what most people do, they just play the game and just say, fuck it. A lot of us have a lot of, PlayStation 4 games, and I know I do at least. And if you find a sale or something like that, hey, I'm not putting on the PlayStation 5. I'm just going to save space and keep it on an external. That's what I'm going to do. And, it is what it is. I don't know, man. The butter is definitely on the table with this one. Sony has their butter in stores right now, all your local places that you like to shop, and probably even some that you didn't expect would be there. You can go into a 7-Eleven and you can find Sony's fucking butter right now. Sony's, I can't believe it's not butter on the shelves. So they're going to try to use it on you guys. I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. They're not hitting me over the head. They're not removing my garments. They're not going to do strange things to me in the dark with their butter. I'm not going there. Okay. But I'm just giving that information to you guys. And I think that's kind of flagrant. I think that's kind of shitty that they're doing that, man. And this is coming from a Sony fan. Okay. Love Sony, but not this shit right here. Speaking of Sony, we're still on that train. There's going to be a controller. It's called the PlayStation PS5 Access Controller. And this is going to be a $90 controller, man. $90. Okay. This is going to be $90, and it's supposed to be their version of like the Xbox's Elite controller. So you have detachable buttons you can put on there. You can change out the buttons, and you can do all this kind of shit with it. All right. And I guess for a controller, that's not that bad, considering that most controllers are around $70 right now. So you can pay a little extra money and you can get one of these controllers. Now, this one is kind of, I might think about this one. Now, if there's like a slight sale or something like this on one of these controllers, I might consider doing that, man. Really, honestly, I'd spend that on an Elite controller. So if you can interchange all this shit, I'm going to take a longer look at that and come back. But anything over $100 for that controller, I'm not. I think the Xbox's controller was more than that, like maybe 150, I want to say something around 150, something like that. So it's definitely a lot cheaper on Sony's end. So that's cool, but it's still, I'd go for that way before I'd go for the fucking 4 terabyte bullshit that they got popping right now. Okay. I really would. So that's just me. Next on the list. Yeah, they have a PlayStation Slim in the works, supposedly, guys. And it's going to be $399.99. Okay. Think about that. Now, it's going to come with a detachable disk drive. It's going to be slim, of course. And then they're going to put that disk drive separate for it. And it's only going to be $400, man. If you haven't gotten a PS5 yet, or if you're waiting to get one, this might be the lick right here, because you still get everything you need if you want your discs. And if you don't, then you're good too. I'm wondering if you could use that disc if you already have a PlayStation without a disc drive. I wonder how that's going to work. If you can buy that separately. Knowing Sony, you probably will be able to buy it separately, but I don't know. I'm just talking out the side of my neck right now. But yeah, that's something there. They're coming out with the Slim sometime soon. Be looking out for that, guys. It's out there, and it is upon us, guys. It is going to be a thing. Let's move on. Like I said, please forgive the beeping. I'm in the car. I'm going to try to remedy that another way. I'm going to take these keys out of here, and I'm going to see what the fuck is going on. And let's see what happens now that there's no fucking key in here and that the car is off. It shouldn't be any issues, but we'll see. We'll go from there. This is my first time in the car, guys, so just bear with your boy, okay? Anyway, now we got Sony shit out of the way. Let's go on and let's talk about this Last of Us 2 situation. Now, if you haven't heard, Last of Us 2 is supposedly going to be getting a remaster. And I don't even think you can put those two things in the same fucking sentence, but apparently that's the case. The fucking guy, I forgot his name, I can't pronounce it right now, but he did the fucking soundtrack, okay? It's a Spanish guy. He was doing an interview, and he let it slip. I don't know if he let it slip or if they made him make it slip, because sometimes you can say, oh, he slipped up, and maybe now in today's day and age, man, it could be, all this shit could be orchestrated. They could do all that shit to set it up to make it look like it slipped so that people can talk about it like we're talking about it right now. So who knows? But anyway, he basically told the reporters that, in The Last of Us, when they put out the new version, you're going to be able to walk up to me and request songs right there. Now, if you played Last of Us 2 before, that wasn't possible. You know, he's just there, he's playing one song, and you can't communicate with him. But now, apparently, this is one of the things they're going to be adding in the game. And, you know, this has got a lot of people talking. I'm a huge Last of Us fan, especially Last of Us 2. A lot of people didn't like it. Well, I'll say some people didn't like it. I fucking loved it. I bought the collector's edition. Okay, so this is kind of sensitive with me because I don't think they should be doing this, and a lot of people feel the same way. Sony should not be making a fucking remaster. That game is fucking breathtaking. Yes, it came out for the PlayStation 4, and I think that game's done things that I don't think a lot of people will understand until even 10 years from now of what they were able to do with that fucking PlayStation 4 game. Okay, and then I replayed it on 5 and go, oh my God, with the 60 frames. Jesus Christ. Just some of the best video game production I've ever seen in my life. Okay, the only ones come close, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. Those are the only other two, and Ghost of Tsushima is up there too as far as production. But nobody did it like fucking, in my opinion, like The Last of Us 2 with the motion cap, the realistic fucking characters. Everything they did was fucking beautiful. All right, like I said, God of War came close, but Last of Us still reigns supreme on that. But anyway. And you can also even put in there Red Dead. You can put Red Dead in there, but it's still not beating Last of Us, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't see them doing this. I mean, yes, okay, we can get to 60 frames per second, but I'm trying to figure out what else are they going to do? How much more can you clean up the graphics? How much more can you do, do little things, tweak and twerk little things with the lighting? I mean, it's just, okay, but is that warranted what you're probably going to end up charging, which is full price for this shit? Okay, we've got 2 games, The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, and we've already got 4 iterations of these games, all right? And all of them right now are fucking for the first game. So I don't know what these guys are going to do, man. They better not charge full price. I know that. They better not even charge $60 or 50, in my opinion. All right, because what about the people like me who bought the collector's edition, or the people who just bought the game, period? It's just not, I don't think it's warranted, because most people are going to say, well, fuck it, I'll just buy the original, the PlayStation 4 version, and just get the free update for the 60 frames, and I'll just do that. You can't lose with that. You really can't. That's why I'm wondering, what the fuck else could they be bringing to the table with this game? What else is coming? Is there going to be something extra? If I'm going to buy it, that shit better have an updated factions on there from the first game. Okay, they better take factions from that and give it a fucking fresh coat of paint, since we're not getting the other factions game. We're probably not going to get that. And if we do, we're talking probably 2026 or some shit like that. Something crazy, maybe even 2027 or something like that. That game may be dead in the water, guys. There's a lot of shit going on back there behind the scenes with that one. So I don't know about that. But still, you can't just give us just a couple of, here are some other options for the game. Bro, that's not going to do it. Not for full price, what you guys are going to be trying to do. I know it. You're going to be trying to pull out the butter on everyone. All right. And you're going to be tugging at the heartstrings of the super fans like me. All right. And I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to do it. Now, maybe like on sale, like I said, I was going to do with the first Last of Us game, which is still like around $50 or $60, which I will not buy until I can get it for like 10 to 15, 20 at the most. I'll give you that. But that's it, man. And that one didn't even come in factions, which is crazy. So that's my point. They're charging more, but they're taking away. So we're getting less and we're paying more. It makes no fucking sense, guys. And I don't understand why they're putting teams on this. You guys actually had to put a team on this, just like you had to put a team on the other ones. All right, all these other ones. Well, you should have been taking the team and putting them on factions, which needs to be worked on, or working on another project and put the focus on that so you guys can get those out. That's my humble opinion about it, guys. I mean, I'm just saying. This is coming from a true Last of Us fan right here. Straight up. And I'm saying it's not fucking worth it unless they have something catastrophically huge that we don't know about that's going to be added to this. And the only thing, in my humble opinion, that can be added with this is a factions game type of game. That's it. Okay. A director's cut. Yeah, that's cool. And I'll eventually play it because I am the fan. I am, but I'm not spending that. It'll be on sale like a motherfucker before I play it. Okay. I'm telling you that now. I mean, I promise you that. So you're either going to get that, you're going to get a lot of people just going to buy a PlayStation 4 version, if you don't have anything to bring to the table. They're going to be asking you, what else is this game going to have? You're going to add new weapons and stuff like that. I don't know what else they can do. They're sitting on this engine, this beautiful engine, and they got to do something with it. I'm saying, let's do a factions game. Let's do a factions game that doesn't have the pressure of the one that's taking its time now. You know, they're in there sweating because they want this game to be a paid service game for an extended period of time, when you should just make it as a standalone piece, kind of like how they thought that the first factions were going to be. They didn't know the factions was going to blow up like it did. They just thought, okay, this is something fun for the fans and they can play with it. Here's something else for you guys. And it ended up turning into something more than what everybody thought it was going to turn into. So they could do the same thing there. You know, we don't have to give us whatever we can get and unlocking this game within this shit right now. And cool. Maybe one DLC or two DLCs down the line, and then cool. We're cool with that. People are still playing factions right now with what is already in the game, and it's fine with that. People are fine with that. So I'd be fine with something like that, you know, with this game here. So give us something like that and you got to purchase from me. But if not, anything less than that, it's not going to happen. It's not going down. And that's just how I feel about it personally. You know, I'm interested to know how you guys feel about that, but I'll leave that on the table and walk away from it. And let's go on to the next lecture at hand. And that is just a little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle news real quick for you guys. Okay. Shredder's Revenge. If anybody had that game, enjoyed it, played it, I have it for the Switch. It was great. My son beat it like 2 or 3 times. All right. They got another DLC. It's called Dimension Shell Shock. All right. It looks pretty dope. They got some couple modes in there. I think they got like I don't want to call it horde mode, but it's a survival mode in there. And there's a new character, and I forgot his fucking name. It's my homeboy's favorite character in the series, man. I'm a Casey Jones guy and Raphael kind of dude, but it's the rabbit. It's the fucking samurai rabbit guy, man. He's really popular with a lot of people, and that was his guy. But yeah, he's going to be in the game, and I don't know if they're going to add another character. They probably have another couple other characters coming, but I know he's in there for sure because you can see it in the fucking trailer. But anyway, that's going to be cool. I'm definitely getting that. It can't be too much. I think the game in itself by itself was, how much was that game? Was it like a $30 game? I want to say it wasn't that expensive, man, if I don't remember correctly. So the DLC shouldn't be nothing but maybe hopefully like $10 or something like that, and we can rock with it. They may try to fucking push us to the limit at like 15 or something, but that's cool. You know, it is what it is. I'm definitely getting that though. That'll be definitely something to play now that you got a survival mode, just going on beating shit up for the foreseeable future. I'm digging it. There's a car, his truck creeping like he's trying to do a fucking drive-by. Okay, just driving by here right now. Anyway, all right. Pretty interesting in this car, though. Pretty fucking interesting, me in this car. Yeah, it's crazy. But all right. Anyway, that's some news for you right there. And, you know, I want to talk about some anime real quick while I'm here. And Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is out. And I just hadn't had time to watch it yet, man. But I am watching it this week. I don't give a fuck what I got to do. I'm watching it, the first 2 episodes, and now it'll be 3. And I want to discuss a little bit of that with you guys next week. And also, okay, Ronin Kenshin, okay, is doing a fucking remake. I can't believe I missed that. They're doing a remake, and episode 1 is out now. I think episode 2 should be shortly, if it's not already. And it looks, I just saw a quick clip of it, but it looks breathtaking, man. I mean, it's definitely cleaned up. And this is what I wish they would do for more anime remakes. You know, they would do something like this. That's fucking awesome. Not the live action stuff, which I heard that the live action version of Ronin Kenshin was pretty dope. You know, I heard that. But I don't know. Not most of them are not. But that one looked like it was pretty dope from what I saw. But yeah, but we should stick to stuff like this, guys. Let's keep it real. Let's just clean up what we have. And I think most fans would be, you know, delighted for that. You know what I mean? That's just my humble opinion. But yeah, those are what I plan on watching. That's out of the way. I've been playing a lot of shit, man. A lot of different stuff. Currently, I've been playing Division 2 with my friends and WWE 2K23. That's the game I play with my son religiously almost. And we've been playing that, and I haven't went online or anything with none of that shit. But yeah, love the game. Big Van Vader's my guy. Love Vader. But anyway, yeah, doing that. And also Dragon's Dogma has been my latest obsession since Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 wrapped up on a Wednesday. And ever since then, I've been playing Dragon's Dogma, another playthrough, and it has fucking been phenomenal, man. Capcom's gem right there. That they have a fucking RPG right there as a gem that a lot of people don't know about Dragon's Dogma. A lot of people don't know it, and you can pretty much get it anywhere now. I mean, it used to be, it came out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox, I think Xbox 360, when it first came out. And now they've got, of course, we've got the HD version of it now. I bought it for the PlayStation 4, and that's what I'm playing it on, the PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation 4. And you can get it on Xbox as well, guys. You can get it on the fucking Switch, and supposedly Switch has a phenomenal version copy of it, which I will be buying. Okay. So it's one of my favorite RPGs out here, man. And every time I play it and replay it and do it again, it's just like I find out more shit that I fucking forgot. And it's a decent sized game, but it's not like overly big. Okay. Because the Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be 4 times, at least just over 4 times the size of this world. Okay. Which is going to be pretty big. And I don't know, man. They just did a lot of dope shit, a lot of things right that a lot of RPGs just never picked up on and never went with. Like the pawn system is just ingenious. It's very dope. It's a system where you got one pawn that is basically your right hand man or woman through the whole game, if you like, and you can make them whatever you want to make them. Okay. And then you have 2 other slots where you can go out and just fucking hire, a couple more pawns. It's free of charge if you're at your same level. Now, anything above your level, you're going to start paying. Of course, it gets steeper and steeper the higher they are above you. And they have their own, it's like you're playing with human characters. Like it feels like it is that. And it's so dope because if you use a pawn if you make a pawn and you send, he or she gets put into the ecosystem. So somebody out there might pick up your pawn and say, oh, he looks cool or she looks cool. And they'll use that pawn. And whatever they go through or see within that player in his playthrough or her playthrough, and when they get through with them and comes back to you, you get stuff for that. So that character, those pawns learn shit from being out in the world and seeing shit. So if I go hire one of those guys or females and they've already done some things in the game, when I get to that moment or that area, they'll tell me, hey, don't go there because so-and-so's over there. Or this looks like an underground area where you can go down here and get this shit. So they're telling you shit that they've seen. They're lacing you up. Like, I think that's so dope. I just think it is. And then the vocation system, like you can start out as, a mage and then end up as a sorcerer, and you can be kind of like a hybrid character. So and you can take one character's stats and you can kind of like train as them and get rank up in that field, and then come back and start another one, and then take certain things from each one and make your own fucking like build. So right now I started out as a strider, and then I went to assassin, and then once I got my assassin rank up, I went to fucking what did I go into? I went to like I want to say it's like a mage, a magic archer. Okay. That's what I'm doing right now. Having a lot of fun with the magic archer type of build. I think that's the one I'm going to go with because it scales with assassin, and you have a lot of dope things with the daggers, and you can do a lot of shit like ninja-esque moves. It's just a dope game. It's so dope, man. Some of the magic is just crazy, and you just don't see that in games even of today. And I think that this game was really before its time, and they actually came out with an online version in Japan only, which just every time I think about it to this day, I still get sick. Okay. Because we never got a chance to play Dragon's Dogma online, man. I hate that shit. But anyway, the next Dragon's Dogma is Dragon's Dogma 2. It's not going to be online, but it is going to be the second game, and I can't wait. This is day one for me. If I can get collector's edition, guess what, baby? I will do it. And we should be getting that next year, 2024 sometime, so I'm really anticipating it. We're going to get more stuff and information, and when we get it, I'm going to be talking about it, guys, because like I said, this game is amazing. Go out and play Dragon's Dogma, the first game, please. The game still holds up graphically. I think it's an awesome game. It really is an awesome game, and it deserves to be in anyone's RPG library if you're an RPG guy, if you're an action RPG guy, or just period, and you want something different. This is definitely going to give you that. You know what I mean? And it's one of the games that if you get it for Switch, what I love about it is it's all on the same disc. It's all on the same fucking cartridge. You're not going to have to download anything. It all fits there. You can take it with you. You don't have to download anything. It's there. I love that. And I make it a habit of buying those type of games for my Switch that I don't have to download, half the game from the store and shit like that, So yeah, it's one of those games that when you're talking about RPG shit, man, you just can't go wrong with it. And there's a lot of people who, believe it or not, who aren't playing this. And there's a lot of people who are currently playing it now, man. That's what's so beautiful about the internet. You can just go on there, and I'm looking at build videos and guides and stuff. And there's people who are playing it now who just played it last week and are making build videos for it. So I just love the community. The community is so strong. And I think the news of Dragon's Dogma 2 and all that has definitely put some fire up under some people and got everybody kind of hyped about it again. And it's a beautiful thing, man, with these communities. It really is. I got a friend of mine trying to put together a community for Division 2, which is awesome. Got back into that game. That's an awesome game. 3rd-person shooter. Looter shooter, make multiple builds, all these things, pretty dope. Graphics are amazing. The world is expansive. It's a lot of dope shit to love in that game as well. So I'm just playing a lot of stuff, guys, and that's not even the end of it all. I think I told you guys last week, I want to say, maybe I didn't. But there's another game I got an itch to play when I'm done with Dragon's Dogma, and that is going to be Max Payne 3. I'm a big Max Payne guy. Guys didn't know either. Love me some Max Payne, and I love me some Splinter Cell. So here's the thing about Xbox that, I'm surprised I did not fucking know, and I'm a goofy for not even kind of exploring this when I first got my Xbox, and just, I didn't fucking look into this stuff, guys, because I assumed that it just wasn't there, because Sony doesn't do this. Sony doesn't have this. Their last generation, they have issues with. The PlayStation 3 is issue ridden. Okay, it is. Just keep it real. They have issues with their shit. All right. That's why you can only stream the games. You cannot fucking just buy them. Okay. Their architecture is so fucking crazy with the PlayStation 3. It's crazy. Now, the PlayStation 3, I started playing the PlayStation 3 towards the tail end of its life cycle. And that's when the game started getting good. But this is when I was an Xbox guy back in the 360 days. Xbox 360 was my shit. All right. I had 3 of them because I had 3 red rings of death. And that third one, I was just done. Okay. But that's not to say I fucking love the 360. The 360 games, that's at the peak of its career gaming wise. That's when Xbox was the shit. Okay. When the 360 was out here, there's just some awesome games on there, man. I just had a blast playing them, and it was just a dope experience. A lot of dope games. Anyway, I fell down a rabbit hole this weekend, and I was looking up games, and I was gonna get Max Payne on my laptop, but I was like, man, I would just love to play it on the fucking console, man. That way I can just start it up, get my controller, and I'm ready to go. I just want to do it like that. And then I just looked it up on the Xbox Game Store, and they have it. And I was like, what? Oh, it's here? Max Payne 3? Oh, yeah, not just that one, all 3 Max Paynes. What? So I said, man, you know what? Let me get to looking some more. Now, they don't have every last 360 game. Don't get it twisted. But they have a lot of them. Okay, so then I looked up Bully. Bully was there. I fucking looked up Red Dead Redemption. That was there. Okay. So I'm just like, so I'm just pinging all these games, saving them, okay, for these sales. Cause I did more research, and they said, yeah, man, just right now it's $20. And if you wait, a month or two, shit, man, that motherfucker would be like $4.99, $5.99, man. Just wait and get it like that. I'd pay $20 for it, for that shit. So I'm excited. So I'm just going to wait for the prices to drop, and I'm going to go ape shit crazy. I'm going to grab all of those, okay? I already bought, I think this was like $2. It was Street Fighter, what was it, man? Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter. Yeah, I love Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter. So they had it there, man. It was $1.99. It was straight up. I hit that button so quick. That one, and then here's one that I've been waiting on that everybody keeps telling me to play. Okay, I have not played it. Everybody's calling this the real Final Fantasy 13, and this is Lost Odyssey. This is the guys who basically made the Final Fantasy games, and they made some sort of deal with Microsoft at this one time, and they let them make this game, and it was called, Lost Odyssey. So everybody's saying, bro, you need to play this shit. This is like Xbox's best RPG ever made. Like it rivals all of them games. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, okay, let me check it out. And it was $30. It was always $30, and I could never catch it on sale, And I haven't played my Xbox in a long time, so I wasn't turning it on, and I wasn't fucking with the app. So I guess I need to start doing that more often, looking at that app. But anyway, it was there clear as day, $8.24. I said, what? And I had to push play on it. So I bought it, and I'll be playing that sometime. I don't know when, because I still have Persona 5 to play, and there's a lot of still shit on my backlog on the Xbox to play that I'm going to just get in here and start playing, because I'm having this resurgence of just playing shit, man, like crazy. So after I finish Dragon's Dogma, okay, because I'm playing that and I'm splitting that time with the wrestling game with my son and also my boy, one of my best friends, on Division 2. So I'm splitting that 3 ways. So I'm good for right now. And then, you know, I was gonna do Baldur's Gate, but I said no, I'm gonna hold off on Baldur's Gate because Armored Core is coming out, and I'm gonna pick that up. That's gonna be my game for that time. And then a week later, fucking damn near, we got one of the most anticipated games out here. We got Starfield. So, you know, my plate is set, you know, and then that's not even including some of the other upcoming games, you know, Lies of P, another game free on Game Pass, and some other shit too. And then all these other games I said I wanted to buy and play, like Bully and Red Dead. I've also had an itch to play that. And then, you know, Splinter Cell Blacklist, all-time classic. I have that game on my PlayStation 3, but my PlayStation 3 is locked up in storage, and I didn't want to feel like pulling out the PlayStation 3, hooking it up just to play that. So now I can just play it straight on the Xbox. What? So we're doing that. It's $20. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let it hit a sale. And if it's, you know, a month or two goes by and I don't see a sale, I'm just buying it. It's $20, man. So I gladly pay for those classics right there. And yeah, man, that's pretty much what I've been playing, what I'm going to play, what I plan to play. All these things has been going on in your boy's land. So yeah, man. A lot of shit popping off. And that's going to do it for the show, I think, guys. I think that's going to be it. I think we went over an hour. Yeah, about an hour. And we went far, man. We went far. So I'm in the car. Tell me what you guys think about this episode, man. I'm going to go and edit the shit, of course. And hopefully it's not too bad. You know, it doesn't sound too terrible. And who knows, man, I could make this a normal thing here. My laptop was fully charged. It's an old laptop. I have 2 of them, but this is my old one. And it's at 75% right now. So I'm liking where it's going. I've got peace in here. I haven't heard any dogs barking. So that went well. It was cool out here. I can't promise you the next time I'm recording here, it will be this quiet, because I will have the AC on most likely. And that's fine. I'm not tripping. I'll just try to edit that out best I can. And we'll go from there, man. You know, I was trying to do new shit. I was trying to just change it up, you know. But yeah, in the car, in your boy's car, we got it done. So all my fans, I want to thank everybody for listening, all the newcomers. I hope to see you guys next Monday. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Just join the family. Let's come along. Let's do our thing. And you'll get this every Monday, okay? Also, just show your love and support me on my all my platforms out there, okay? Definitely check out the YouTube channel at Random Gameplay Pimpin'. You can also check me out on TikTok at Random Gameplay Pimpin'. All my Dragon Ball fans, check out DragonBallDrip.com. Also check out Dragon Ball Drip on TikTok. We're doing big things over there, you know, trying to grow that. And I have Just Your Average Fighter. Definitely check that out on YouTube. There's a lot of shit, man. There's a lot of shit, okay, that I'm trying to do here. So yeah, I'm all over the place, spread thin like fucking peanut butter. And we're going to get it done though. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for your support. Thank you for downloading, streaming, listening, whatever you're doing, guys. Hey, I love it. And I love you more. So I'll get out of here. And I want to see you guys next week. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver. And you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin' from the car. See you next time.